and welcome back to a bit of a week in my life, or it's more sort of what I managed to achieve in my art world during this week. So this week's definitely been a bit of a hectic one, I feel. It's been a lot of balancing between my art and what I create online, and also what I do in my personal life as well, such as jobs and socialising, trying to stay healthy, all that sort of stuff. So on my to-do list, I really wanted to get 3 things done this week that would sort of help my art and my online arty business thing that I'm trying to grow. And those 3 things were finishing a commission, finally finishing my Patreon page, and also making a new print for my Etsy store. Out of those 3 things, I got the commission done and I got the Patreon page done. I was ready to do the Etsy store thing, but this week my printer stopped working, and so I've had to send it in to get serviced, which isn't ideal, but it's not a big problem because the Etsy store can wait, and I don't have anything that I really need printing now, so that's fine. It's good to have this problem now when I'm not in a rush and I'm not needing the printer, than in the future when I want to print a book or something and suddenly it stopped working. Also, luckily it was in warranty as well, so thankfully I haven't had to pay any money yet, which is good. So for the first half of the week, I spent a lot of it working on this commission that I was asked to do. Obviously the commission has taken the priority over the other 2 things because someone's actually paying for me to do work, so of course I wanted to put all my time and effort into that one, but I'm happy now that I finally finished it and sent it off, so it's winging its way to that person and I hope they enjoy it. Once I posted the commission, I jumped onto Patreon and started working on that one. So I started making a Patreon page probably a month or so ago, and for one reason or another I just kept putting it off, and it's sort of been sitting around in the background and it's been on my to-do list, but I've never actually got around to doing it, and I really wanted to get that done this week, so I actually did it. So if you haven't used or seen Patreon before, basically it's a way where people can support creators that they love. And usually on people's Patreons they have a set of tiers. For each of those tiers, they recommend that you have like a little picture to sort of represent each tier. And for a while now I've been wondering what can I do for those pictures. And a couple weeks ago I thought, okay, I'm going to have a chicken theme. And so I've got 3 tiers. I've got the hatchlings tier, which is like a little chicken coming out of an egg. And then I've got the pullets, which is like a teenager sort of chicken. And then I've got hens, so the adult chickens. I do one day want to have a 4th tier, which I think I'll call the flock, and that will be something else. But for now I've just kept 3 tiers. And like I was saying, a couple weeks ago I designed the illustrations for each of these tiers. So I'm happy I already had that on my Patreon, so all I needed to do this week to finally publish it and finish it was to write each tier out and write an About Me section and just make everything look neat and tidy and grammatically correct. So that was my aim for this week, and I'm happy I finished it. It definitely did take a bit more time than what I thought, only because I was going over the sentences and trying to make sure that everything made sense and it was sort of clear and understandable. But after that little bit of work, it's finally done, and it's something that I don't really need to touch again. I mean, of course, with Patreon, the creator usually posts things on there and adds additional like content onto that page. So obviously I'll need to do things in that regards. But now that it's sort of set up, I don't need to set it up again in the future. So I'm happy that I've got that out of the way, and so now it can sort of just sit in the background and it's there for when I want to use it or if anyone wants to support me. So I'm really happy that I got that done. And of course I wish my printer was around so I could have at least scanned the new print, and then I could have done the majority of the work on my computer where I'd be designing the print. But of course it broke before I got around to that, so oh well, that will have to be another week. But I'm really happy that I got the commission done and the Patreon page, because they were my 2 top priorities, and now they're sort of out of the way and I can just sort of clear my mind and keep making art. When I'm balancing little priorities that I've made for myself, like the behind the scenes of this YouTube channel and working on commissions and so on, sometimes it feels like I don't really have much time or any time during the week to work on my own little art projects where I can just sort of screw around and do a bit of painting and see how it turns out. So I definitely feel like I've been missing that this week, and I'm hoping that now I've got these 2 things out of the way and my printer's not here, so I don't have any distractions to try and print and scan things with Etsy. I'm hoping that this weekend and next week I'll be able to just sit down and paint whatever and not really feel like I have to be producing something for my YouTube or Etsy or anything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really do like creating this sort of stuff, but I'm really craving just sitting down and painting at the moment, so that's my goal for next week. But apart from that, I feel like this week has been quite successful and productive. At the start of the week, I was sort of freaking out about the things that I needed to do, because even though there were only 2 or 3 things, I had to fit this in between my other commitments. But I'm happy that I've achieved them, and I've had plenty of time to do the things properly, which is even better. It hasn't felt like a rush at all, which is good. And yeah, I'm happy with the result. So thank you for watching this little vlog, or what I did in my week, or whatever it is. And I will see you again in another video. Bye!